talk about is, in the 2 months, when I got there, I discovered that the bed was a plank of wood. A plank of wood. And on top of that was a little cotton mattress. Now, I'm not exaggerating. It was probably maybe 1/2 of an inch thick. I mean, you might as well just been sleeping on the wood. I mean, it's like, I lay down like that, right? The pillow was as hard as the bed. So when I got to Nepal, I had started with a kind of a bad, as you all know, a right shoulder that was kind of traumatized. But by the time I got to Nepal, my left shoulder was as bad. I don't know exactly, it's something about yoga, but. So I would lie down on that bed at night. Well, I would turn to my right, and then this would start aching. To my left, this would start aching, really hurting. And I'm pretty skinny. Well, my left hip, right? It's just all. So then, oh my God. So then I would roll over onto the right, of course. And then, of course, this one was worse than that. So, I mean, we're talking pain. Literally, I would move my shoulder, and it would, like the tendon or something would catch, and it would be like a knife. And then it would let it release, but in my right hip. So I couldn't fall asleep. And so if I fell asleep, I would wake up in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Well, I would wake up, and just so you know, I mean, I remember waking up and having this feeling that I had flown to Kathmandu and had been working with the government, helping them. They're writing a constitution. I had been helping them create their constitution. So then I thought, the odds are I slept. So I had numerous times I would, when I would wake up and feel that I didn't go to sleep, I would then think, there was this parade in Lumbini, and they wanted all of the monastery to have floats, and I was sort of in charge of our float. So I slept. I slept a lot more than I knew. But as the weeks went on, I started becoming aware of the fact that my retreat each day sort of ended at 8. I got up at 2 a.m. and sat in the hall at 3 a.m. So by 8, I was pretty much toast. There were a few times I lasted to 9. But my retreat would be waking up and slow walking to the hall and then dealing with that bed at night, right? And we've not mentioned the mosquitoes yet, and the mosquito net, which I didn't realize I was supposed to have. And I do want to share with you that I caught about 4 or 5 mosquitoes in a cup and put them out, and then one day I murdered one. I just gave up. And as I did that, I thought, well, I'm a Hindu. I switched religions. I decided I had become a Hindu suddenly, because there's this place in Nepal where they slaughter animals in a ceremony. So I became a Hindu. But so my point is, at some point, I realized that my mindfulness ended at about 8 o'clock every day, right? It just didn't occur to me, and so my mindfulness practice, it was just totally acceptable to me, right? It ended at 8, and then I started dealing with, getting in that bed and tossing and turning and being miserable and waking up and having to pee, which would, thank God I went to sleep and then I had to go to the bathroom. Plus, we have no electricity, by the way. We had, most nights there was no electricity. So, of course, you stumble over something. So there's Frank, there's my father, there's all of these people. You stupid thing, why didn't you put your flashlight by your chin? It was astounding. So then it just occurred to me finally, oh my God, here is this person trying to have this mindful retreat in the daytime, and yet recovering every single day from total mindlessness, right, at night. That was like a revelation to me, for God's sake. So it was also the case that I was having to deal with some pretty serious stupidity. This is truth. So I started working on mindfulness. And so what I decided I would do is that I would just try to keep the noting mind going at least, for an hour, 30 or 40 minutes before I went to bed. But when I would get into bed and then start that turning and tossing, it's like there was no way. There was no way I could be mindful. There's no way. Because the unconscious, all of the psychological parts of it, it just was so powerful. I think it is at night for almost all of us. I think even on a weekend retreat, when we go to our room, it's not that easy to maintain mindfulness right when we go to our room. But anyway, over the period of weeks, more and more mindfulness came in, and so that finally, towards the end, maybe the last 3 weeks, I would be noting even, and had equanimity with my condition, my situation. It was always painful, but it was, towards the end, I had a great deal of equanimity, so it was no problem at all. That's called extending the territory of mindfulness. Okay, that's what that's about. I didn't get it, right? I didn't get it. And I thought, you're teaching this stuff. And then I thought, maybe you shouldn't teach this anymore. So it was humbling, tremendously humbling to experience how spotty my mindfulness was, right? That like when I'm doing it, I got it, right? But then when the unconscious would take over, or does take over, as it does with every one of us, then there is no mindfulness, and it doesn't occur to us to be mindful, right? But, it doesn't, there has to be mindfulness for it to occur to you to be mindful. That's the thing about it. I think, what is it someone said, the thing about mindfulness is to remember to be mindful.